Hi, my name is Kristen, and today I want to persuade my audience that addiction is a disease. I do have a live audience here. So my main objective today, as I stated previously, is to prove that addiction is a disease. So drugs and alcohol claim the lives of hundreds of people per day, and only an estimated 1 out of 10 people seek treatment. There are several options that exist today that help addicts get clean and maintain their sobriety. Sobriety undoubtedly leads to productive and healthy futures. So today I would like to share with you the pertinent information and facts on how addiction is in fact a disease. According to the American Society of Addiction Medicine, it is classified as a primary chronic brain disease of brain reward motivation and affects your memory. 3 ways that addiction influences the brain is through craving, which is the obsession and compulsion part. There's loss of control and continual use despite the consequences. So addiction damages the healthy chemistry located in your hippocampus. So your hippocampus is a part of your brain that helps with memory, and the ability to, do right from wrong. So in comparison to other diseases like cancer, a lot of times when people smoke cigarettes, that would be the choice. But once they smoke cigarettes, then they develop the disease of cancer. So there are many addiction factors other than the actual drug or substance that cause one to become addicted. So like I said previously, like other diseases, one can be predisposed to the disease of addiction as it can be hereditary. A lot of people, claim that willpower is the answer to stop using drugs. However, in fact, research shows that one needs to go through with, a decent amount of treatment. It's a daily struggle for them. So although addiction started with the choice to use drugs, once the choice is made, it does become an addiction. So now on to the various types of treatment and support available to addicts. So the extensive amount of work that needs to be devoted to staying clean and the assistance of treatment options, recovery is possible. When the user receives the gifts of desperation and decides to fully surrender and understand they cannot use successfully, they can enter a rehabilitation center. So the first part of the rehabilitation center is a detox facility. So something that a lot of people don't know is there are certain drugs, like alcohol and benzodiazepines, in which if you're not given proper medical treatment, one can actually die from it. Another reason, insurance companies do cover rehabilitation centers, especially if you're state or county funded, because, it is an addiction, which is a disease, and they allow funding in order to help one get better. Once you finish the detox phase of recovery, you could then move to an inpatient rehab facility where they give other drugs, that are monitored by the FDA, like Suboxone, methadone, Valium, and other things in order to get the user off of their drug of choice. So for addicts and alcoholics who need more than a 30-day stay, they offer up to like a 6-month program. And it it allows them to get an understanding of how to live in the real world. Some of the places teach them how to cook and clean, and retrain their brain how to be productive. So one option that has been shown, that works well for many recovering addicts is a 12-step program. In this 12-step program, they are required to get a sponsor, a home group. They're expected to do step work, which gives them the option to really discover who they are as a person. Addiction has become such an epidemic that Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous meetings are now available in almost every state, and they are also available, at various times of the day. They also have programs like Nar-Anon and Al-Anon, which is for the families and the loved ones of recovering addicts in order for them to, really express their feelings and everything that they're going through as well. So addicts and alcoholics learn how to deal with life on life's terms and ultimately become productive members of society. So once the disease is in remission, as we can call it, once the recovering addict or alcoholic gets clean, a life living becomes available. The addict begins to, be productive by maintaining job. A lot of them mend broken relationships, and they learn more about themselves and how to cope with their problems. I found a story online which I thought was really interesting. It was a story from a recovering addict named April, and she shares her story and how she recovers one day at a time, and devotes a lot of time daily to maintain her sobriety. She began using at an early age. She lost her kids. She felt extremely hopeless and helpless. And then, one day at a time and through a lot of treatment and, Narcotics Anonymous meetings, she was able to get clean, stay clean. She was able to have her disease, in remission, if you will. So she now sees that, now after being clean for a while, she obtained custody back of her 2 children. She's had a job for a few years, and life is great for her and it's beyond her wildest dreams. So she stresses that addiction is something that needs to be worked at daily. So it's not something that, willpower is enough to solve. You have to get up every single day and, make the decision to not use. So I hope you, understand now that addiction truly is a disease. It has affected the lives of millions, but it can be treated. For more information, you can refer to the National Institute of Drug Abuse. So addiction is a relapsing brain disease, not strictly based off willpower. And once the addict or alcoholic begins recovery, the disease of addiction can be put in remission, and then one can be productive and prosperous in life. Thank you for listening.